What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing all the intercooler piping for the turbo element build. Now, I don't have all of the materials to do the intercooler piping, but I'm going to get as much work done as possible. There's a few couplers that I'm going to need, probably a couple more bends in the piping. My inventory is literally like, I don't even have an inventory anymore, really. I'm just gonna use whatever he provided me and whatever else I'll need. I'll go to KELLYBUILT to grab some material from him. So this right here is the intercooler, same intercooler we are running on Project Blueberry. And I got this off of eBay for $179 shipped. This is practical for the K series because of the intake manifold and the turbo being on the same side. The wind's kicking for real, for real. Again, we don't have much piping, but we have this 90 here with a cast elbow. We do have this charge pipe right here from Esai's wagon, and it does have a tile blow-off valve on it. We're gonna be using as much of this as possible, but before we cut it up, we gotta figure out what bends we need to utilize as much of this as possible. This piece right here is very important for K-Series car or any boosted car. This is the IAT sensor adapter. You have to weld this on the charge pipe, so that way when you hit boost, it doesn't go popping the IAT sensor out of the piping. So we got that, piping, blow-off valve, intercooler. Let's get to work. We have to take off the front bumper cover, and I'm not entirely sure what's all connected to it because I've never taken apart an element front end before, but Esai already started taking off some of the clips from yesterday. There's a little plastic cover that sits here, and then there's a bunch of like little push tabs that sit in these holes. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the bumper, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, and it looks like this. Like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys down and let's figure out the rest of the bumper clips. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So all of the tabs on the top, and then on the side here in the fender, there is this one screw, 8mm, that secures the bumper to the fender. I thought it was for the fender, but they are connected. Underneath the bumper here, we have the fender lining that's attached to the bottom of the bumper, and then the bumper tabs attaching to the frame here, and the bumper cover comes off with a little tug. Now this thing does have fog lights. He said that it only works on the halo ring but not the fogs itself. When I took the bumper off, it pretty much detached from the wiring, which looks kind of boo-boo anyways. Literally just electrical tape to the corner lamp right here, and I don't think it'll be hard to connect it back together. So let's assess the situation here and figure out the best placement for the intercooler. 11. That's pretty high up, unless I go down. Taking note that this bar is the bottom of the grill. This bar right here goes on something like that, and I'm probably gonna put it on top of that and go 11 up, and then he can drill holes to allow more air to go into the intercooler. All the dust in my face. God dang. So the intercooler is sitting on this bar right now. We're not secured just yet. I'm just trying to figure out the best routing for the charge pipe, and the intercooler is also centered from the core centered to the condenser right here in the back. That hole right there is centered between this end and this end. So the intercooler is somewhat straight here, and it looks like we have a lot of space between this rail. And honestly, if I cut this structure out, I can probably go backdoor with both the pipings, just maybe. Okay guys, so I cut the support about 3/4 way down just to bring the intercooler a little bit lower, because where it was mounted on the top of the support, you can literally see the legs where the grill starts. So I wanted to bring it down so it can hide the little tabs, and we still have clearance for a piping and coupler here. I made these little tabs right here to bolt the intercooler through, and it has a little triangle piece in the back, a little gusset to prevent this from like bowing. And I also cut a little slit on the bottom to put a socket through to bolt the intercooler down. So right now I'm just gonna put some paint on here to prevent it from rusting later in the future. Not gonna lie to you guys, I've been spending a lot of time cutting pies right here in my hand and cleaning it in that little oil container right there. Got it all somewhat clean. Gonna clean it one more time before we weld it up. I don't have that many piping, literally like this is really all I have. That is coated, so I'm trying to avoid using that. This was from the wagon, which actually all of this was straight. It was about yay high, and it was super dirty from all the oil contamination that was inside of it, so I had to clean all of it. But I was able to get enough pies, and kind of mocked it up a little bit to see how much more I need. I think I have enough, so I'm gonna mock it up really quickly, show you guys what I come up with before we get down with tacking and modifying that intercooler. Guys, I am really making do with what I have, and I had to make an extra pie cut, but I think I got the intercooler end tanks figured out. So this right here is the top inlet, which is going to be coming from the turbo, and I have it marked right there. and that's gonna go right here. There's a B-roll right here where we're gonna have a coupler, and the second pipe is gonna go underneath and around into this hole. Now originally I wanted both inlets and outlet to be on the same side going here, like the EGs and DCs and EK guys, except this thing got some massive tires, and on full lock I don't want two pipes to be there and potentially get crushed or whatever the case may be when the suspension travels. So I went backdoor with the bottom one, and this one right here is going to go to the intake manifolds. The top part of the intercooler is going to be the part that's going to be behind the plastic piece, and we're probably going to cut that a little bit, not too open, but we're going to cut it, and the air is going to go through and it's going to go around because this is a dual pass, and then the bottom of the intercooler is going to be in the grill. So hot air goes in, comes to the bottom where it's going to cool off in the grill, and then cold air going into the intake manifold. That's the idea. The bottom here, I'm going to weld all these pies, not the black straight, but all the pies are marked, so that way in case it falls apart I know where they belong to. And I'm going to weld this to the end tank just so we can eliminate a coupler and have a squishy part right here in the joint. I'm going to replace this black 2.5 pipe right here, and it's going to be further in more, so that way we have room to put T-bolts and a coupler. So back door on the bottom to the intake manifold. Top is going to have this 45 two-piece design to the turbo, and again, I'm really just cutting a whole bunch of old material to make use of what we have. And then the pipe that was provided to me, we're going to use that for the engine bay side. Cleaner material, more bends I'm going to need there instead of using those bends here. All right guys, so last night we finished up the intercooler modification. We have a 90 going backwards with the extension that I needed, and then this one has a 45 angle which is going to go down, around, and towards the turbo. This side for the turbo to intercooler is going to be two-piece. It's going to be from the turbo down to the bottom, and then bottom coming up here. And I think what I want to do now is figure out the charge pipe system for probably the turbo. From the turbo here, I think I want to do a 45 and go down straight shot over there. The shift mechanism is already in the lower gears, so the lever is like all the way towards the driver's side to kind of give me an idea of how much room I have. I think I mentioned it yesterday, this is all I really have right here, and I'm going to try to utilize this charge pipe. SI is going to check his house to see if he has any more pipings that I can use, but for the most part we're going to try to use this to make the turbo piping to the intercooler. I did find this new 45 coupler, and it's a little too long, so I might have to trim maybe an inch and a half off of this to tie it in closer, so we don't have a bunch of squishy parts for a possible blowout if this car ends up boosting a lot or over boosting or whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down. scrap material charge pipe routed. So now I'm going to carefully take off this piping here, and then I'm going to take off the masking tape and replace it with the heat tape, so that way we can weld it without leaving residuals behind. And this one's already tacked up and it's ready to weld. Yes, sir. Okay, that is freaking awesome, dude. So looks like we're ready to weld up the hot side charge piping. All right, guys, so we got the charge pipe for the hot side all done and secured. All the T-bolts are tightened down, everything's cupped up, and I do have the fender lining back on. It does kind of bulge a little bit right here somewhere, but the wheel is full lock and we aren't touching, so that's freaking awesome. And the pipe that goes to the turbo is also secured. Now we can move to the charge pipe for the intake manifold. I don't have the 3" to 2.5 45, which is what I'm going to run here. I did order it. It's going to show up in 2 days, and I'm debating on pulling out a blueberry because that's the same coupler I need, just to mock it up and get a precise routing for the charge pipe. This is all that's left of the charge pipe that was provided to me, and I think I can make it work. So this right here, probably a couple of pies, maybe a 90 down low, and we can get it going straight to the intercooler inlet here. So yeah, let's mock it up real quick and get that out of the way. Voila. Perfect. Abracadabra, bro. Charge pipe installed, IAT sensor with adapter installed, and blow valve also installed. That is pretty much it for the charge pipe system for the turbo element build, guys. Damn, this is this was fun. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is like artsy stuff for me, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this build so far, and I hope you guys are too. Okay guys, I have my stuff cleaned up, and I'm gonna say now that the bumper is not gonna go on in this video. I've test fitted back and forth with the piping and everything to make sure everything is going to clear. And the only thing we need to modify is the grill. Again, it's not going to be much to do so, but I will show it in a different video. But the bumper should go on and clear all the charge piping, all the T-bolt clamps and everything. We have space for the fog light, so we don't have to modify it at all. I will have to wire it back up because somebody just kind of loomed it together, and when the bumper came off, it kind of just detached itself. But give you guys one more look here. We have the battery back into place and everything fits and clears. The blowout valve is super low down there, right? But it is not touching anything whatsoever. Same thing for the IAT sensor. It's not touching anything whatsoever. And I am going to take the coupler back off because this belongs to the Blueberry, and I have the coupler on its way for this car. Progress is better than no progress, and we are moving forward with this build. Only a few more odds and ends before this thing is ready to go home, but I am going to wrap up the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the fabrication of the turbo element build, and if you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for, I think we're going to do fuel pressure regulator and the return system, and or injectors and ECU and all that good jazz, man, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, before we close the video out, actually, I want to show you guys this real quick. Big shout out to Paul from Fox Designs for sending over this little care package right here. And if you guys haven't already checked out Fox Designs website, he has some tribute stickers for Leo. There are different tiers of donations here. We have the white, the red, the black, and a metallic red. This one's pretty cool. This is the highest tier, and anything that is sold, all proceeds will go to Leo's children. For everybody who has purchased one on the initial release, we truly appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts. And Herb, if you're watching, some of these are yours, so swing by and swoop. But we are going to wrap up this video right here. So if you guys want to stick around for more progress update on the turbo element build, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.